here with Years of Years, and it's this day in Disney for June 25th, and we're starting off talking about Milt Kahl. He joined the Walt Disney Company on this day in 1934. He was known as one of Disney's 9 old men and really had an illustrious career with the Disney Company. Ham Luske actually invited Milt to come down from San Francisco to help out and join the company with while they were working on Snow White. So it was really his friendship and connection there that brought him to Disney. And I've noticed learning Disney history now and throughout the years that a lot of the relationships were based on friendships or people meeting each other or knowing someone who knew someone else, and it's really interesting how all those connections happened, especially back then when being an animator wasn't necessarily a very popular thing. So it may have been a little bit hard to find animators for the Disney Company, but some specific characters he did were right off with Snow White. He animated the prince, which we talked about when we talked about Snow White, how the prince was difficult to animate, and Milt Kahl is a truly good artist, so he had a rough task right off the bat, and he did a great job. He also did the forest animals in Snow White. Then he animated Pinocchio, and some of the scenes with Jiminy Cricket, the fairy godmother and Prince Charming, the king and the Grand Duke for Cinderella, Alice, the White Rabbit, one scene by the White Rabbit, the dodo, the flamingo and the hedgehog in Alice in Wonderland. He animated Peter Pan, Wendy, John, Michael, Mr. and Mrs. Darling for Peter Pan, and honestly the list goes on, and it's pretty much iconic lead characters in a lot of these Disney animated feature films. So he was a highly talented artist, and actually he is considered by many as one of the finest animator that's ever worked for the Disney Company. Some future animators or future directors who were influenced by him are Brad Bird and Andre Deja. So as you're watching these films, go through some of the ones that I listed and just really pay attention to those characters, how they're so iconic, how they're so different. They're not, you couldn't really say, oh, Pinocchio's so similar to Peter Pan. No way, they're very different characters. So he did a phenomenal job, and like I said, a true artist. So next up on this day in 1967, America the Beautiful, CircleVision 360 debuted at Disneyland. So I believe there was another version of this in 1955, and they debuted this version in 67. The film has actually been reshot at this time with the 9 circle camera for the CircleVision format, so it changed. So I actually found this online on YouTube. Ricky Doodlebug was the channel that was showing it, and it was a really good version, and the sound quality was really good too, so I'd encourage you to maybe go check that out as we're nearing the 4th of July. I found it really entertaining. It was fun, really well done. Of course, you can't get that CircleVision feel, on YouTube unless maybe you have, a VR helmet on or something like that. But it was pretty amazing, and it goes all over America, showing different scenes, and I like seeing it in that time period, so going back to the 60s and seeing, first of all, this really high quality version for the time of shooting film, but then also just all the different places they went. It just kind of throws you back. It's really kind of neat. So go check that out. I love CircleVision. I'm glad it's still a big part of Disney and that we get to enjoy it at Epcot and other places at Disney. So good job on creating CircleVision. And I'm sure we'll be talking about the beginnings of that another day. But that's it for this day in Disney, and I hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye!